Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my channel, TV-DICTION, where we talk all things TV, movies, media, and more. My name is Val, and as you can tell by the title of this video, today we'll be discussing black romance movies. Before we dive into the video, today's quote of the day is, "Every day may not be a good day, but there's always something good in every day." I encourage you to find something good in today and enjoy it. Okay, now that we got the introductions out the way, let's get started on the topic at hand, black romance movies. Well, a little backstory on how this topic came about. So, a few weeks ago, I posted this video on TikTok as well as here on YouTube, and basically the premise of the video, it was just addressed to BT on how I think Kristen Renee Hazlett should be put in a romance movie or a rom-com by the end of 2024. I feel like she would do very well in that genre, especially being how her character Fatima was received, and how people fell in love with her, falling in love with Zach. For those of you who don't know, Kristen Renee Hazlett, she currently stars on Tyler Perry's Sisters and Fatima on BET. And in their storyline, she falls in love with another main character, Zach. And I think as a viewer who watched it, I feel like she can sell us a good romance story, because Fatima really made us fall in love with the fact that she was falling in love with Zach, drama aside, right? So long story short, I posted a video and went about my day. However, a gentleman who identified himself as someone who produces original content for BET and BET Plus, I'm not sure how true that is. I didn't do no background check or something, so we're gonna just take it on its face, take it as is, and believe him, right? So his comment was along the line that we don't see these type of movies because they don't get the ratings that's needed or whatever. They're always low in ratings. And I'm thinking, like, really, in the year of 2024, we're still saying that black romance don't sell. And I'm like, how true is that? Because if you look at things such as like black romance in books, like look at the success of Kennedy Ryan from Before I Let Go. People like are gravitating to that. So I don't know why that's not translating to movies or TV shows circulating black romance. Well, I refuse to believe that people aren't into it. I feel like it's probably not being done right, because look, even in the Netflix movie The Perfect Find, that was a book to film adaptation of black love, right? It was age gap love, with starring Gabrielle Union and why can I not remember I do apologize, the one who's dating Ryan Destiny. I really forgot his name. I do apologize, sir. But him, Keith Powers, that's his name. Gabrielle Union and Keith Powers stars in The Perfect Find, which is an age gap romance, black romance that is film, book to film adaptation. I don't know what the ratings on that is, but people were very much anticipating that release because they fell in love with the characters on paper. So black romance, I feel like, can sell, can do well, given it's done right. And I feel like we've had a lack of black romance in the past couple of years. Not much have been produced in that genre for us to watch. And I love me a romance movie. The simpler, the better, Guy meets girl or girl meets guy, they fall in love and they have a happy ending. I love that type of Hallmark movie romance. And I feel like we don't have that many examples of that in black romance. And listen, I love me a black romance, even black indie. Like, I subscribe to All Black, the channel, when it was UMC, okay? It was considered the Urban Movie Channel, okay? That's how serious I am about the topic of, black indie type work. I love to see it. Like Act Like You Love Me, starring Essence Atkins. I love that movie. Granted, if anybody else watching, you'd be like, okay, we can tell the budget and production wasn't there, but I love the storyline. It was a very simple storyline, easy to follow. It was a cookie cutter type guy meets girl. It was a little scheme was involved. She's trying to get her family off her back with, wondering when she's going to get married. So she hired this guy that she met to play, her love interest to her family. And in the end, they fall in love with each other. I love that type of simplicity in movies and films. So I don't see why we can't get that. And that was a black romance type movie. So I don't know why we don't get more of that. But then, are you guys really not checking for that type of content? But then, when you look at even our most, notable black romance, when you think about it, there's always some type of level of toxicity or trauma attached to it. Like when we look at Love and Basketball, right? There's a lot of discourse that's been happening regarding that movie where, everybody's looking at it through adult eyes now, and it was like, damn, Quincy really did Monica wrong, especially like that most famous scene where, I'll play you for your heart. Like, of course that line makes you melt. But then when you're looking at it and Quincy is literally putting his all, into playing her, and it's like, damn, are you even gonna fight for her? Of course he ends up giving her a second chance, and then they play whatever, and they end up happily ever after. But it's like, why couldn't he do that in the beginning? Why did he have to act like, it was like he was playing her to not be with her? And even things like Baby Boy, Jody don't love me no more. Like, we romanticize that, Yvette and Jody relationship, but then that was toxic as hell to begin with, So I feel like it's not that people aren't watching it. People just don't want to watch that type of struggle, love when it comes to black romance anymore. It's like, we're living the black struggle. We're living it through love, through romance. We don't need to see it depicted all the time in film or even in books. Like, this is going to be we're going to segue a little bit away from it, but me and my friend were having conversations in terms of books that we've read, geared towards little black girls or, black people in general. And she's like, the amount of books we've read that depicts a black girl getting raped, a black girl, in the hood struggling, is astronomical. But then when you look on the other side of the pond at the white type of, books, especially like young adult type books, you're not seeing that many of those traumatic experiences romanticized on paper. I feel like black trauma is so romanticized. It's like everything we see has to be of that black trauma. And it's like, I get it. It is important to tell those stories, but that's not the only stories we have. We need more fairy tale type things to give us hope to, even if it's just, simply fairy tale and out of reach, it gives us something to hope for. And I think that's the main reason that we're not watching those type of movies, because don't nobody want to see another movie where a black woman is going through the ringer just to find love. Like, no. Can we for once get a black woman meets a guy in the most cookie cutter type way, okay? She's the owner of a little bookshop. Let's say the bookshop's, there's a big angry hedge fund company trying to knock the bookshop the book shop down or whatever, and then she meets a lawyer who, he works for the company, but then, getting to know her better, they fall in love, and then, the bookshop is saved, and they end up together riding off on a white horse together towards the sunset. Like, I so desperately want to see more of those type of movies with black leads. And I know other black women, other black men would love to see that too. It's not always, struggle, toxic love that we want to see. Before I even end it, I'm going to bring up that new movie that Robin Lee has on Prime Video. I forgot the name of it, but in a Refinery 29 article I was reading, it says that Robin Lee, who is an actress in the black, romance genre, I would say too, or black media in general, she's very noted. If once you see her, if it was like, oh yeah, you've seen her in tons of projects, but she had to turn her character of the book she created white in order for it to sell. And I'm like, how is that even possible when we literally just got The Perfect Fine, and it's basically the same thing? It's an age gap love story. Who's not, why did she have to do that for it to sell? And, I think that's very sad that she felt that she needed to do that for it to, sell and to become what it is, because, as it did sell. And Anne Hathaway, one of the, most prominent, I think, white romance, rom-com, girl next door type of the millennial generation, is starring in the movie. And, I really love that it is sold that way, but I would have wanted to see that with black people, with a black male lead and a black female lead. But that's, we're in 2024 still having conversations like it's the 1950s. Like, oh, people not going to want to see that. Who's not wanting to see that? Because I want to see that. But, okay, I'm wrapping it up now because now I feel like it's getting long-winded and rambly. But let me know in the comments, like, are you not checking for black romance? Or why aren't you checking for them, if anything? What black genres are most appealing to you? Sound off in the comments. Thank you guys for watching.